All right. Welcome to another reading of my book. We're going to read chapter 15. I will absolutely deep dive on parts of this as we go through it. I think it's best for me is to start out by reading this out because of what it is. And I remember writing this chapter. I went pretty thorough and I'll come and recap it. So I think I'm just going to read it and then I'll recap a little bit. Chapter 15, the power of multiple streams of income. And I'll tell you, more than ever, this is something that people need. And I think people are realizing it. Like, it's really hard to live on a single income family. They've made it, it's happened that you need two incomes, right? Well, what's wrong with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? If you find a way where you can do it, where you don't trade dollars for hours, and you can work in a smart environment, which is available now thanks to the internet and programming and smart people putting systems together, that's something you need to look for. Inflation's real. It's never not been there. Ever since I think the beginning of time, they're going to have rising costs and valuations. You've got to find a way that creates more money all the time and gets your wealth creating money for you. I know that sounds like logic, but you know what? People didn't used to care about it, and more people are understanding it. And they're awakening to the fact that I need to find a way that I get to leverage time and leverage my resources so that I have time freedom, I have financial freedom, right? And you can't do it without multiple streams of income. I don't know a single, what I would consider a wealthy person that doesn't have multiple streams of income. I just don't. And I don't know anybody that hasn't been able to create more without having multiple streams of income to help fund that. It's just a reality, and it literally is simple math. You need more coming in than going out, and you got to find a way to make extra so you can invest it in ways to grow. Otherwise, you don't have a legacy to leave your kids. So that being said, I'm going to dive into this and I'll come back to more. So the power of multiple streams of income. When it comes to this chapter, know that this topic is something I have known about since I was 14. It was something that just made absolute sense. There was no internet available in 1988. A lot of the things necessary for what was to come in my life were not yet available to me. Still, I just knew this was the way it was going to be done. It was a truth I understood from early on, yet not until 2008 was it fully in scope to where I could share and teach it to others. It was something that others in the business world would discuss and throw out, usually with regards to real estate. It was a term that, again, sounded incredible, but needed something more than willpower to create. You needed to have a system, systems, technology, and lead generation. For me, it just seemed to make logical sense that multiple streams of income were my only method to truly get what I wanted and knew I was meant to have. It was also something I was directly involved in creating with my clients. While I was delivering the resources and technology to create these multiple streams of income and working with more and more new millionaires each year, it was an understanding that began for me several years earlier. They say truth will always remain true. From the time I was 8 years old, I have been making money by buying and selling things people wanted. I would buy in bulk and make profits in the markup. I could get away with the higher markups on certain products, and some were break even, but attracted the customer. Then I would look for more things to sell the customer. Once the relationship was open, more things were easier to sell. These products were self-funded marketing. They brought customers through the door. This began an instant understanding of the marketing house. I saw it with the stores my family went to. The local grocery store would keep competitive with the eggs, the milk, and the dairy. Other items would be more expensive, but people seem to be emotional only about the basics. I watched as the local grocery store became the baker, the butcher, and soon the home goods store all in one. Made sense to me. Getting customers into the door was the hardest part of the business. From there, it was all about offering them solutions and products they needed for everything. I got it for the first time. I realized the business direction of the marketplace happening right before us. I was very headstrong and bold as a child. I came from a family that could barely pay their bills from last month, with what came in this month, or even 2 or 3 months out. Should a major appliance die, the devastation to the family required help from grandpa and grandma. Birthdays, holidays, and Christmas were horrible as compared to the neighbors or anyone else I knew. We were not homeless. We had each other, and luckily we were healthy. there was a huge void, and it was not just income. It was all sorts of things. It was only satisfied when I was serving and helping others to become better. I was often asked what I wanted to be when I grew up. It was comical, really. Aunts, uncles, and their significant others, as well as other adults around, asked me this question. They seemed to have a huge interest in my desires. They also came at me with amazing advice from a point of no true knowledge. They were not millionaires, and by all regards, not wealthy in financial means. They would ask me what I wanted to be, and I would say I was going to be a millionaire and wealthy. I wanted to be as far away as where I came from as possible. I didn't want to go to the grocery store and worry about the budget. I didn't want to have to wonder if I had bought more than what I could afford. I remember so many times where my mom had to go put things back because we went over what she had budgeted for. Admirable on one hand, but sad on the other. No one should have to do that. With all the many ways there was to make an income, no one should be without. They just need to know what to do. The more things I found to sell to those that needed what I had, the more income I was bringing in. I was able to put food on the table to help feed my family from 12 years old on up. I could make the holidays and birthdays for my siblings fun and rewarding. And I could buy what I needed to make life better. I was able to do this based upon doing several things depending upon the season and needs of the clientele I was building up. For me, it was a matter of building up several things. If I wanted to make more than 1 million a year, I needed to hit 88K a month. I rounded up to 100,000 a month. I was not seeing the path easily to this number by only doing one thing. Up to my 14th year of life, I had made money with multiple products and services. It seemed logical that 100 projects paying $1,000 a month would give me a solid path to 100,000 a month. I looked for ways I could do this without trading hours for income. I moved in and out of products and services that were related to my main focuses. This created habits and a vision that enabled today's success and the abilities to share them with countless others. As technology and the internet created better means of delivering products and services to the masses, it became a perfect medium to deliver on my vision of multiple streams of income. When I was in middle school, I was told by all around me that I should go to college and become a doctor or a lawyer. Everyone, that is, but my grandparents and parents. They seemed content with me being me. But for everyone else, it was apparent that the board game of life was a great educational background. They seemed to really want to support my desire to become rich with advice that they themselves did not follow. For them, their solution was for me to become a lawyer or a doctor. No one suggested creating a business or sticking to one thing I was naturally born good at, marketing. They were my elders, and they were very adamant that their impressive suggestions were the path I needed to take. I had some interest in law, and it was incredible how my following their instruction towards a career in law made them leave me alone in my dream and desire to be a millionaire. I wanted so much more than to own the struggle my parents went through. I did not want to go without anything again. Taking the study and learning advice from my grandfather to actual results, I hit the library. My grandpa always brings the tears up. I miss him so much. To hit the library, I started studying medicine and law. I like the intrigue of the medical side as well as the unresolved areas of research. I was not all that excited about the required schooling to be an expert or specialist in medical fields. It was in being a specialist that the millions were available. In law, it was a clear path that criminal attorneys had the best odds at the millions. I knew that knowledge was everything in having the upper hand in any business, let alone in the legal profession. So I did what I was taught to do, and I hit the library. Every single book on law was at my disposal. I read and consumed them all. Granted, I was mostly interested in the fun of law that was presented through the black and white television show of Perry Mason. After diving into the mock trials and a short internship with a criminal law firm, my desire to be in law was quickly killed. It all took place when I studied the statistics of what lawyers made and what was required to work in the high-paying aspects of criminal law. I learned that listening to advice, usually given freely and loudly by those that should not advise, was dangerous. I was interested in law, and I have been utilizing it often only through attorneys that took the education and path I left to build as an entrepreneur around the globe. I am so glad that I listened to those that had what I wanted as I followed my path into marketing and sales. it took me into printing. Then it took me from printing into computer telephony, where I was around a clientele that was making millions. They were both university educated and self-educated. They had multiple income streams, though they put a lot of focus into a main business model. Being raised in a military family by a strong Marine, my upbringing was disciplined. I lived out of a footlocker and a cot for a bed until I turned 12. I still have that footlocker to this day and cannot for the life of me get rid of it. All being said, the lessons and structure taught has played a great role in who I became. I went forth and built up telecommunication services and added multiple clients to build my wealth from. From large account was access to $1,000 or more a month. I added more and more accounts and built up things for years. I was doing millions in business monthly, and by 2003 was ready to follow the way of all things technology and migrated from computer telephony to internet-based solutions. I had already begun the direction in the internet in 94. And by 1997, I was all online and building. As things progressed, I was able to not only create multiple income streams, but to create a system that allowed more income streams to be plugged into to gain from work already being done to drive the people into the marketing house that was created. The very process was not just great for creating the sales for marketing properly, but it also created a way to market and add additional incomes. From 2008 and on, it was a path that fulfilled my personal desire to help others and to follow the pathway the universe and God had placed me on. Not only was I able to create multiple streams for my family and I, but I was able to duplicate the results and processes to create results with others. I was also able to learn from mistakes and perfect the system to where I could remove and replace anything with a better solution or product, and to do it in a way that didn't lose marketing already in place. Today, this is more valuable to those willing to learn the way of marketing with technology and the correct high touch necessary in the processes, systems, and programs we support. The processes and systems are incredible, and the available methods allowing success always work with our professional marketing and lead generation to target growth in our most successful areas within the marketplace we created. Basically, we took hard and made it easy so anyone could do it. For me, I honed in my skills and resources to provide a method of marketing that would work with anything and everything. The right things performed better, and the lesser things had places in the outskirts and indirect methods tied into the marketing platforms we utilize and build on. I learned young that linear income was never a way to get where I wanted to go in wealth and accumulation. It was not hard to see it, not for me. Like anyone working for a fixed income. For example, my mother could only make so much and was skilled in a way that was not duplicatable by others. Things are great until they are not. When their car breaks down, the dryer dies, or the furnace goes out, they are behind the bills and seemingly never get back. Cost of living only increases, and the income you receive in a linear fashion can never keep up. There are only 24 hours of the day. Something must happen where you are earning income from things that are not a trade for time. The odds of inventing something or winning the lottery are so slim that it is hardly worth talking about. Enter into a world of marketing where there is more need for marketing than there are people to ever make it happen. Now you have found the one area that anyone can become a part of and have access to creating an income, if not several incomes. Think about it. Marketing is freedom. Freedom we all deserve. The more we all understand and take part in marketing, the more freedom we have access to. Wow, right? I have never been unemployed. And other than one 8-month period of my life, I have never been employed. That 8 months, I poured my heart, soul, and God-given talents to increase the sales and income of the store I was working at. When I proved my worth and asked for a raise, I was told by the store manager that there was nothing he could do. If I was told that if I stayed around until I turned 18, that I could become an assistant manager. I did receive access to free products in lieu of a raise to keep me around. He had received trips and awards in the time I was there because of the increases in sales. It was then that I realized the employer to employee structure was not a structure I wanted to live with. It became clear for me, any job without room for marketing and sales compensation was not for me. Any job with, it just wasn't for me. And I immediately knew then what to look for before trading my time for money again. I never even did that again. I went into marketing and sales-driven income fully from that point forward. I can tell anyone that a knowledge and understanding in marketing is vital to never being out of work ever. Want freedom? Marketing is the key to freedom for anyone. Anyone. Marketing makes the world go around. Religion or even cocaine does not sell its own. It doesn't sell on its own. Marketing is freedom. For those that have an income from being employed, that is a great start. You still have time outside of that to pursue an additional income or to get into a system that creates several incomes at the same time. Education is where it begins. Understanding the way of marketing forever allows you to fish in the world. Application is where the fun is. Having a stable set monthly income is a great starting point. Consider it a foundation to build from. As you see the vertical income increasing, you can at any point say goodbye to the linear income and get back the precious time. Build yourself into true time and financial freedom. The internet made the options of successfully marketing a product for profit a reality for literally millions of people. However, there is always room for more. There is an incredible law of marketing that everyone should realize. It is so true, yet I have seen many businesses, corporations, and even large technology firms act as if it does not exist. I have frankly heard the most incredible affirmation of this law of marketing by one company out of Utah that they really spun my head. They built up a hype about a digital product that had not even launched yet. They were incredibly cocky and full of themselves. They did something that even the largest companies of the world have never done, yet ever do, okay? They claimed that they were launching with all the marketers they would ever need, ever. They said they needed no additional marketing and that they had all they needed to grow their business forever. They delayed launch. They finally launched. They had initial sales from their hype, and then they plummeted. By the time they went after new marketing partners, they were an even larger joke in the industry. They clearly, amongst other things, did not understand this law, the law of marketing. I'm going to be more than clear to anyone right here. It does not need oh my gosh, I love this chapter, guys. I'm pausing for a second. I'm taking this in. This is one of the focal points here. Okay. It does not need to be believed by you, but it is law. It is the truth to the power of what marketing truly is. No matter how great your new product or service is, it will not sell itself. Just as true as a law of gravity, where regardless of your belief in it or not, should you jump off the roof of your house, you will come crashing down and probably will break your leg. The law of marketing is incredibly vital to any and every business. The lack of marketing is the main reason any product or service fails to reach the public. A lack of marketing is the number one reason any business fails. A lack of marketing is a lack of clients and therefore a lack of revenue. The worst products with the best marketing can succeed in spite of their product because of marketing. Connecting a product or service with a consumer is the key goal. The products we market can pay a commission on a one-time basis or, in the situations I focus on, every time they are purchased by the same client, right? Utilizing the tools of web systems, marketing systems, and tools, we can market and promote all categories of products and services. Each of these represent an income stream. The more products we categorize and make easy to market, promote, and get in front of the consumers, the more streams of income we are working with. The marketing systems we utilize in this internet-filled world, one that we are seeing develop every day, is virtually never ending. As more innovations are discovered, invented, and presented to us, there are more income streams we can add to our marketing solutions already in motion. This is the most incredible opportunity for anyone that is willing to learn, and it is all about marketing and working smart. Utilizing technology systems and guidance from proven use of the tools and systems to gain and create incomes, we can gain multiple streams of income. Look at it from a supermarket standpoint. Every product they carry represents an income stream. The more they offer, the more income streams they can create. Every time a customer enters the store, they can make incomes. This repeats for them every time that customer comes back as well. When was the last time you saw a grocery store close its doors? When you build with the right systems and the right trends, you can create the same results. Leverage time, innovations, and systems to maximize what you can make in multiple streams of income. Take advantage of income for actions instead of income for your set time each day. Then make it happen for more things within the same structure that you are part of. It sounds hard, and it is hard until you gain the right mentoring, the right training, and access to the right technology to make it easy. Then anyone can do it. All right, I'm going to just go deep dive on this. Oh my gosh, I get so excited about this chapter because I really, I covered the law of marketing. And the law of marketing is so powerful. It literally, it's something that people need to understand, and they don't teach it in school. It's horrible that they don't. And nothing sells itself, right? I always bring up religion doesn't sell itself, neither does cocaine. And I put that in my book. It still makes me chuckle, but it's true. Nothing sells itself. Even marketing doesn't sell itself. We have a way to help people create multiple streams of income here, speaking of this chapter, and I still have to market that. Everything markets. Marketing is the absolute oldest profession in the universe, if not just the world, because nothing happens without the conveyance of an idea. Something had to start that thought. That marketing is the conveyance of ideas and education. Nothing is done without somebody convincing somebody to do it, or convincing themselves based on it. Marketing is the oldest profession, and it's not going to go away ever, because nothing will sell itself. So it's a universal law, the law of marketing. So I stress it so hard because there is no other thing on the planet that I can think of that you can literally educate anybody willing to learn and give them a heads up and a way to produce more that they can spend. And if you can't produce more money than you can spend, you're not going to live a nice life. You're always going to be compromised. There is no such thing as freedom when you can't afford your life. You're going to be a slave to stuff coming in. You're going to get locked under compromise with an employer or a situation where you are at their mercy. If you have to ask for time off and you have to plead for time off, there's no freedom in that. There's ways to do things, and the world is constantly changing. Technology is going to replace every activity that can be replaced. Every job function that can be replaced with automation will. And if you have the skill set of marketing, it's unbelievable the aspects that you can do. And you know what? It is such a valuable asset. Not everybody can do it. So when you understand how to do it and apply it anywhere, you have great value. And we get paid based on our value to the marketplace. And marketers make really good money. There's a reason. In a lot of different products, right? Their margins are as high as 40%, some higher, to get paid for the marketing. Because marketing costs money, a biggest cost of a lot of our expenses and stuff that are there. And so you look at it, it's a very valuable thing. Some people work on a commission-based system, which I always would. I always want to get paid based on my performance, but I also want to work smart and get paid not just one time, but every time they buy. The hardest part is getting that customer. Customer acquisition is real, and it's very costly. But once they're in there and they're continuing to buy, I want to get paid for that effort. And that way it makes it more worthwhile, and you create foundational income as well. I'm going to stop my share. I'm just going to come on here. I'll read the next chapter next week. But you guys, this multiple stream of income is what everybody needs if they want to have time and financial freedom. Think about it. There's no other way to do it. Having one income means all your eggs are in one basket. What if there's an economic downturn and you're going to get laid off? You guys, I know people that have worked in the same company for 20 plus years that just recently got laid off, and they never thought they would in a million years. You're only as viable as the situation's going to contend with. And if there's downsides in a business, they're going to make cuts. When you build a business that has multiple streams of income, it's up to your demise. That's up to your effort. You can control it, but you also can be hopefully you're in the right situation with the right systems where you can take advantage of timing. When anything is going down, something else is going up. Markets crash, something else is going up, right? Inflation, something else is happening. When there's an economic downturn or a recession or a depression, there's always other upsides. Somebody's always gaining. And if you're in the right mode and the right processes, and you've got your eggs in multiple baskets, you can shield that. And if you've got incomes coming from multiple countries, even better. That's what you want to look for in multiple streams of income. And that's something that's more available in marketing than any other industry I know. God bless. See you on the next week. Bye for now.